1979 was another championship year, the title clinched in style at Anfield. Aston Villa were their opponents. Alan Kennedy scored their first, and Liverpool never looked back.
Dalglish will come forward though for Liverpool. Edge of the penalty area, shoots, and Dalglish has scored his 25th goal of the season, and Dalglish has surely now brought the championship another inevitable step closer for Liverpool. It was strange really, because just before that Aston Villa had a period of domination for about 20 minutes or so, and the crowd had gone so quiet. The game really had died on its feet almost since that early Liverpool goal in the first minute. A clumsy ball was played by Aston Villa at the back, and you can't afford to do that with Kenny Dalglish around. It was only a half chance as far as most strikers would be concerned. For Dalglish, there was a yawning goal, and he placed the ball into the back of it, and now Liverpool lead by 2-0. Johnson coming forward for Liverpool. That's a good ball to McDermott. Edge of the penalty area. McDermott forward to Dalglish. Can he pull it back here? Yes, he can. Oh, and it's cleared off the line. It'll break to McDermott. Oh, and a brilliant goal by Terry McDermott. And that surely now has clinched the league title for Liverpool. And if that indeed is the goal that means that the championship comes to Anfield for a record 11th time, then it's a goal worthy of winning any championship. A superb goal. Dalglish it was who made it with a seemingly impossible cross from a very acute angle. The ball was half cleared by the Aston Villa defence. It broke to McDermott, and one of Liverpool's men of the season, Terry McDermott, hammered it right-footed like an arrow into the corner of the Aston Villa net. The Kop are singing now. Any tension there might have been has been removed, because Liverpool are 3 goals ahead and nobody comes back from 3 goals behind to Liverpool. 2.5 minutes to go now. The Kop starts singing again. Liverpool in possession, almost inevitably. Champions, champions comes the cry from away to my right. Nearly a full house crowd here tonight. Over 50,000 packed inside Anfield. They started queuing at 5 o'clock. They all wanted to see this one. Liverpool desperately wanted to win the league title on their own home ground. They have 2 matches remaining after tonight. Middlesbrough away on Friday and Leeds United away next week, the week after the cup final. But they wanted to win it on their own home ground, and they're going to do that now. And they come forward again. The ball halfway inside the Villa half, but Dalglish has given it away, and that will be a throw-in to Aston Villa, halfway inside their own half. Back in 1973, when Liverpool clinched the title here at Anfield, and then again in 1977, Leicester and West Ham were the visitors on those 2 occasions. Well, both those matches ended in rather disappointing stalemates in goalless draws. None of it tonight. Liverpool have won the title, we can say it now, and they've won it in great style too. Liverpool 3, Aston Villa 0. 2 minutes of normal time remaining. The ball back with Phil Thompson, the local-born player, now the Liverpool captain, on the halfway line. Forward to Dalglish. The tension rising. Well, it's not tension really, it's a crescendo. I suppose it's tension in a way, because they all want to rip the cheers, I'm sure, when the referee blows that final whistle. Now just 90 seconds away, and then the celebrations can start in earnest. Liverpool, who've been top of the First Division for 33 Saturdays in this league season, when I think really right from the word go, they've looked inevitably champions. There were marvellous early performances, we remember, from them against Ipswich Town and against Manchester City. They are 2 I can recall instantly from the early weeks of the season, when they won 3-0 and 4-0 away from home. And now they're leading 3-0. The Kop jumping up and down, the rest of the crowd joining them in unison. We shall not be moved is the sound. And indeed, who can move this marvellous Liverpool side? For so long, it seems the kings of English football. Nottingham Forest challenged their domination last season, but now Liverpool have the title back again. They are now less than 30 seconds away from becoming Football League champions. Liverpool 3, Aston Villa 0, as Villa move forward in hope now more than optimism. The ball with Kenny Swain, a Liverpool-born player, inside the Liverpool penalty area. Chips it across the face of goal, but it's gone out of play, and Liverpool wouldn't want to concede a goal at this stage. Ray Clements, their goalkeeper, has kept a clean sheet in 16 of the previous 20 home games that Liverpool have had in the league this season, and he wouldn't want to ruin that record tonight. Only 4 goals Liverpool have conceded in the First Division at Anfield this season. It's remarkable, and there's the final whistle. It's all over, and Liverpool are the champions of the Football League once again. And the Aston Villa players, sportingly and professionally, are the first to congratulate the Liverpool team. The Kop now in full voice, and I have no doubt at all that in a moment's time, once they've hailed Liverpool as champions, we will hear the cry of Paisley, Paisley.
Winning, let's face it, is infectious. You don't even dream about this type of success, what this club's had over the last 20 years anyway, and you just don't dream about that. But at the same time, they're such a good club, and there's nothing to stop it developing.
Buying a new player on the very verge of winning a league championship might have surprised a lot of people, but I suppose in a way that is the key to Liverpool's success, that you don't rest on what you've got.
You can't do that. You're looking all the time. To be quite honest, I keep looking around to see if there's a potential manager too.
Well, after 40 years, you must know every nook and cranny of this ground. Have you managed to find a little quiet room where you might just go and have your own celebrations tonight?
I like to keep sober in occasions like this because I like to savour them and, you know, without going overboard, you know, really take it in and really digest it. It's like getting a good meal.
There will be a moment when you'll have a good bottle of wine to go with a good meal, will there?
Oh, yes. We'll have a relaxing time for a couple of months now and try and get ready for the fray again.
And sure enough, a year later, almost to the day, Aston Villa were back at Anfield, with Liverpool on the verge of another title.
3 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool's Phil Thompson turns a long ball into the Aston Villa half. Johnson trying to bring it down, can't do so. It goes out of play, and that'll be a throw-in to Aston Villa. Just down below us, we sit underneath the roof of the main stand here in an Anfield that today is packed to capacity, 52,000 inside and thousands more disappointed outside, no doubt listening on their transistor radios as Villa come forward. The ball with Geddes just outside the Liverpool penalty area, but Hansen is back to clear, back to his goalkeeper, Ray Clements. Clements waves men upfield and kicks left-footed, slightly against this swirling wind. The ball hangs in the air before Ormsby heads it clear, but it's picked up by Linton for Aston Villa. Good ball forward. Geddes and Hansen both misses it. It comes through, and Thompson is there to sweep up for Liverpool. Finds Avi Cohen. Unfortunate, really, that own goal, because Cohen, who's a very good footballer, looks very comfortable with the ball at his feet, have been having a good game up to that point, and obviously that affected his confidence a little, but he seems to have won it back now. Liverpool coming forward. McDermott, midway inside Villa's half, turns it infield, looking for Dalglish. Villa clear their lines, but only as far as Sammy Lee. 10 yards from the Villa penalty area. Good little ball infield to Souness, inside the box. Blake tackles him, and it crosses the line for a corner. The first of the second half to Liverpool, attacking their favourite Kop goal, and it's a Kop end absolutely packed today. A penalty area packed too, as little Sammy Lee steps back to take this corner kick. 5 minutes gone in the second half. 1-1. Lifts it high towards Ray Kennedy. The ball bounces, and a slice clearance from Kenny Swain goes out of play midway inside Villa's half. Throw in to Liverpool. Lee will take it in the shadow of the roof of the stand, finds Johnson in the sunlight. Johnson goes forward, finds Dalglish inside the penalty area. Dalglish turns, plays the ball across the box. It'll come to Cohen. Cohen shoots, and Cohen has scored, and this time it's in the right net. What a marvellous moment for Avi Cohen. The ball deflecting slightly on the way, perhaps, but Cohen it is who takes the congratulations. I think it might have just touched Ormsby on the way in, but Avi Cohen will claim the goal, and no one will want to deny him that marvellous moment. Midway through the first half, on this, his Anfield debut, Cohen sliced it into his own net. Well, he must be a very, very relieved footballer now, because Cohen has got the goal which has put Liverpool back in front and back on course for the league championship.
Well, in the next few seconds, you will probably not hear a whistle, but you will hear a roar from some 51,000 people, and that will tell you that Liverpool have won their 12th championship here in the sunshine at Anfield. As the ball goes back a long, long way to Ray Clements, and the only thing he's really had to do this afternoon is pick the ball out of the back of his net after Avi Cohen had put it past his own goalkeeper. And Clements again with those long, deep kicks of his, but only onto the foot of Swain. Swain to Morley. Morley going forward for Villa. Still holds. Plays it out to his left. I don't think Shaw can get that. Yes, he can. He's done well. Controls it down the left for Villa. Any second now, that whistle's going to go. As Neil defends well. Picks the ball up. Lays it in field. Souness tries an early ball to McDermott. Not an easy one for McDermott. Did well to control it, though. Then by way of Sammy Lee, it's played down the line to Johnson. Johnson holds to Ray Kennedy. Kennedy going forward, finds Dalglish. Dalglish, well, he tried to turn it down the left to Cohen, he fell down on his backside. So the ball is cleared. And there are going to be those tremendous scenes here any second now. Villa, though, still competing, still going forward with Swain, their number 2. Used to be a striker, of course, for Chelsea in his old days. Tried to do it then, couldn't. Far too many Liverpool defenders. And when they're playing like this, it looks... Well, that's it! And at this moment, the League Championship trophy is being brought out here. It belongs again to Anfield. And David Fairclough, the man who's done so much for Liverpool this season as a substitute, couldn't be substitute today because of a knee injury. David Fairclough brings it out to his captain, Phil Thompson. And that cheer is for Phil Thompson, who lifts a beautiful silver trophy, and the sun is shining on that trophy. But more significantly, on the top, there are bright red ribbons, the red ribbons of Liverpool, a club of marvellous consistency. Bob Paisley, remember, as a player here and as a coach and as an assistant manager, and now as a manager, he's won 8 championships with Liverpool. That's what consistency is all about, and that's what makes Liverpool a great club.
There was one trophy Liverpool hadn't won, the League Cup, and they put that right in 1981. The West Ham United pressed them hard in the final. The score at Wembley 1-1, and in the replay at Villa Park, West Ham took the lead through Paul Goddard.
Jimmy Case finds McDermott, 10 yards inside the West Ham half, near side to us, Liverpool right. Neil does some overlapping running. Neil holds it, then cuts it back inside to McDermott. He's got Lee alongside him, goes it alone though, turns in field, tries to find Rush, he's found him, plays it back to McDermott. McDermott looking for Dalglish, ball a little bit too far, but it's there! Oh, beautiful running net by Dalglish. Dalglish at his best. Ball laid forward, defender with him, Parks came off his line. Dalglish, sharp as a needle, he was there, and he scored the equaliser with now 25 minutes gone. Frankly, it's no more than Liverpool deserve. They've looked positive, they couldn't get the goal, they've got it now, and over to our left it's red and white for a change instead of tan and blue. But that was Kenny Dalglish at his best, his 18th goal, his 7th League Cup goal. It was a beauty. Liverpool won, West Ham won.
Well, it had to come, didn't it? The pressure by Liverpool, the type of football that they were playing, they were knocking the ball in fast, and that was a move by 3 Liverpool players. Rush involved, knocked it back to McDermott. He saw Dalglish, sneaked behind the West Ham defence. It was a beautiful ball, but I would have felt that only Dalglish could have hit that. He hit it first time whilst it was about 3 feet off the ground, and Parks had no chance whatsoever. But it had to come, Peter.
Well, this is some final now. 1-1. Stewart in possession for West Ham. Plays it far side from us down the right where Nagle will collect it. Again turns it back. 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. A long ball, and the flag's gone up in any case for free kick to Liverpool. A little bit murky on the far side, but in the murk that yellow flag from the linesman went up. There's no need for me to tell you about the atmosphere. Just listen to it. One here. 26 minutes gone at Villa Park. Paul Goddard with a smashing header after 9 minutes, and then an absolutely classy goal from Kenny Dalglish. I agree with Dennis Law. Few players could have knocked that one away, except perhaps Dennis Law in his heyday. 1-1 here. West Ham deep inside their own half, defending here and holding on here, because most of the possessions come from Liverpool, and they've got it again now. Ray Kennedy, halfway inside the West Ham half, looks for somebody going forward. He looks for Rush, can't find the shot, comes in, blasted in from McDermott, deflects off a defender. Still Liverpool can't go forward though. Cross has come back, slips on the turf. McDermott picks it up again. Back to Lee, yard in from the near touchline. Liverpool right. Plays it in field. Touched on by Neil. Back to Thompson. Thompson forward to Neil. 10 yards outside the West Ham penalty area. Splendid tackle by Bonds. Loose ball breaks to Case. Case plays an early ball infield. McDermott plays it back. He's got to Hansen on the halfway line. Everybody but Ray Clements inside the West Ham half. 27 minutes gone. Liverpool 1. West Ham 1. Lee for Liverpool. Lays it forward. Lovely skills again by Dalglish. The shot comes in, and that I think is a corner. Corner to Liverpool. Deflection off the defender. But Dalglish at his sharpest best here tonight. One of the few occasions when Dalglish has been out once or twice this season. Seems to be a man that goes on forever without being injured. He's played remarkably in 14 cup finals, Dalglish. He's got the equaliser. You wait for Case to take the corner for Liverpool. 3 strides, bang with his right foot. Far side of the area. Hansen with the header, and it's there. I think there was a deflection as well, but Hansen will claim that one. He was tall at the far post. A beautiful corner from Jimmy Case, who will go across and acknowledge the fact that it was me. I laid it on. Hansen tall, the man from Partick Thistle. That's his 3rd goal. It's Liverpool's 2nd. And it's all Merseyside at the moment here, because 28 minutes have gone and Liverpool 1 behind, equalised. They've now forged ahead. Alan Hansen with the header. It may have been a deflection. It won't matter to Liverpool, because now it's Liverpool 2, West Ham 1.
And less than 2 months later, Liverpool were at the Parc des Princes Stadium in Paris for their 3rd European Cup final in 5 years. Their opponents, one of the mightiest clubs in world football.
10 minutes to go. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. And Real in possession. Again, happy to slow the thing down to their pace until they have the strike that they want. And they're not going to do it that way at all. Very bad ball. Way over the top there of Angel. Throw in then to Liverpool. Ray Kennedy just inside his own half. Throws the ball back to Alan Kennedy. Not quite sure what he's going to do with it, so he slows it down again, then starts to accelerate, then slows it down again, and then just strokes it to his left to Ray Kennedy, tight to the near touchline. Plays the ball down that line, and I think in the end Dalglish did well to control that. Looks as if it was going to drift over the line, and now it does drift over the byline, the touchline, and Dalglish takes the throw quickly. And again, a mass of white jerseys inside that Real half, and in the end everybody misread everybody else, and the ball goes into touch. But it's still, well, I must say, I thought that was a Real Madrid throw. But Ray Kennedy doesn't argue. He takes the throw, and Alan Kennedy tries to burst through. Alan Kennedy's still there, and Alan Kennedy has scored for Liverpool. A marvellous moment for Alan Kennedy, and he runs away to the left, and the whole Liverpool team go with him. A slight hesitancy in the Real Madrid defence, and Alan Kennedy, the defender, was there when he was needed, and Augustine came to his near post, and Alan Kennedy whacked that one into the top corner of the net. It's only his 2nd European goal of the season, but the man who came to Merseyside from Newcastle, the man who now says he's part of Liverpool just as much as the Liver building, when he was needed, Alan Kennedy was there. And with now just 8 minutes to go, it could be that Alan Kennedy has made a little history, because Alan Kennedy may well have won the European Cup for Liverpool.
And he had. Liverpool were champions of Europe for the 3rd time in 5 years. But then, in late September, barely a month into the next season, came news that saddened not only football, but a wider world as well. Most of all, though, Merseyside.
Bill Shankly, the former Liverpool manager, has died. He had been taken to Broad Green Hospital at the weekend following a heart attack. Early this morning, his condition suddenly deteriorated in the intensive care unit. He was manager of Liverpool for 14 years till his sudden retirement in 1974, and during his long career in football became one of its most respected figures, as Christopher Morris reports.
Bill Shankly was one of the greatest football managers of all time. Twice under his inspiration and command, Liverpool won the FA Cup at Wembley, on this occasion against Newcastle. Shanks, as he was affectionately known, took Liverpool from relative obscurity in the 2nd Division to the League Championship 3 times, to the UEFA Cup in 1973, making them the most feared club side in Europe, and Shankly the idol of the fans.
He'd be a loss everywhere, the football. I think he wasn't only loved with the Liverpoolians who idolised him, and I might say it was a tremendous job to take over. I didn't relish the task of taking over from him, and people say, well, you're not Bill Shankly. Bill Shankly was, nobody was Bill Shankly. He was out on his own. He wasn't unique for nothing.
Your first impressions of the man was to stand back, because he was in awe of the man, really. He said things that were so definite. Nothing was grey, it was either black or white. But when you got closer to him, and I think in a lot of respects I was lucky, because I think I got as close, there's probably only 2 or 3 players ever really got close to him, and I was fortunate enough to be one of those players. You realise that the man was only doing it for you, and quite honestly for me the biggest loss is obviously I'm going to miss him. He was great motivator for me, and he was always there when I needed him, and so a lot of other people in the game. But I think the people who are going to lose the most are the fans, because his greatest asset for me was that although they put him on a pedestal and worshipped him, he never looked down on them as if he was on a pedestal. You know, he always felt they were the same as him, and that this was a gift that the man had. He never saw himself as any different to them.
The next game at Anfield, and it was a strange twist of fate, was against Swansea Town, managed by one of Shanks's favourite sons, John Toshak. Toshak had guided Swansea from the 4th Division to the 1st in just 4 seasons, a man who'd learnt his trade from Shankly. To Toshak, Anfield was Mecca.
And here come the two teams. Bob Paisley, proud of his Liverpool men. Bob Paisley, who's been here more than 40 years in various capacities, followed by a very proud Liverpool man, Phil Thompson, who was in tears here yesterday at the funeral of Bill Shankly. And Swansea City in their new black and white tracksuits, which were made specially for today, because John Toshak said, I want my team to look the very best at Anfield. You've got to look the best. So Swansea City in black and white tracksuits, led by John Toshak, who scored such marvellous goals here at Anfield. The Liverpool players all in red, and the minute silence will now take place 10 minutes before the start. And this is going to be a moment, I think, that everybody in football will remember. And John Toshak's taken off his tracksuit, and John Toshak is wearing a Liverpool jersey.
And another man who knew Shankly well was Bobby Charlton, who tells a nice story about Shanks's boyish love of the game.
One of the great things of football is the people that you meet, and I feel very honoured that Shanks was a big pal of mine. He was the biggest enthusiast for football I've ever met, ever. And I defy anyone in football to actually say that you didn't like Bill Shankly. And I always remember when Brazil had stayed at Lymm. We lived in Lymm in Cheshire, and Brazil stayed there during the World Cup in '66. And after that, the hotel got a reputation, you see, for housing football teams. So then a lot of football teams used to go and stay there. And I used to live actually about 200 yards around the corner. Well, the next year, I think it was, my mother-in-law, Nora, she woke me up one morning at 7 o'clock. It was the first match of the season. She says, Bobby, we've got a prowler in the front garden. I said, Nora, I said, we can't get a prowler in the morning during the daylight, you know. She says, well, there's a man outside keeps going up and down looking through the windows, you see. So I had to look through the curtains into Bill Shankly. So I put my dressing gown on, I went downstairs and I told him, I says, you better get up, you know, Bill Shankly, it's 7 o'clock. And I opened the door and I said, Bill, do you want a cup of tea? And he dashed up the drive. Yeah. And we were playing Everton that day and they were playing City. And he says, Bobby, up the Reds, down the Blues. He says, isn't it fantastic, the start of a new football season? And he came into the house at 7 o'clock in the morning, and Norma made various cups of tea, cups of coffees, biscuits, whatever. He stayed for hours just talking. Because can you imagine, the summer for Bill Shankly is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. There's no players around. There's no crowds. There's no football to talk about, no results, no tables. But when he died, football lost its greatest enthusiast. I mean, there's many football enthusiasts, but he actually loved the game to such an extent. He loved everything about it. But he's left something in the game, you know, that will never, ever be copied, you know, and that is the personality and the achievements that he had. And everything Liverpool have done, in a way, goes back to Bill Shankly, you know.
The club that Shankly did so much to build was back at Wembley for the 1982 League Cup final. And their opponents this time were Tottenham, who, remarkably, had never lost a domestic final. And they rattled Liverpool by scoring through Steve Archibald after only 11 minutes, and then hung on grimly.
We've got now exactly 5 minutes to go here at Wembley. The free kick finds Neil. Neil Ford is too far forward, though, and there was never going to be a chance for David Johnson. And again, the moment he's got possession, Ray Clements, he just stops everything. He just dribbles the ball forward just beyond his own penalty spot. And still the Liverpool supporters giving plenty of support to their side away to our right. As the seconds tick away and Tottenham go forward with Houghton, and he's done well. And he's drifted away from 2 players. He still keeps possession, plays the ball in field. Archibald back to Villa. Villa halfway inside the Villa half. He's got Galvin to his left. In the end tries to go it alone, and he's not going to go anywhere that way. Well, the referee says that was a foul by Lawrenson, and it'll be a free kick then to Tottenham. Halfway inside the Liverpool half, and again Dalglish in no particular hurry to take it. And now he takes it, and he finds Crooks on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. And Crooks runs away, plays it back to Galvin, going strong down the left. The cross comes in from Galvin, ball headed away by Thompson. Dalglish goes to challenge, Dalglish gets there first. Ball played wide, and Liverpool themselves go on the break. Ball played infield to Whelan. Whelan holds, plays it wide. Johnson's going down the right. Slips, picks himself up though, picks up the ball. Then the cross comes in from Johnson, looking for Dalglish. Ball breaks, still on the edge of the area. Dalglish inside that area. He's challenged by Villa. Ball drops to Johnson. The shot comes in, and it's there! Ronnie Whelan has scored for Liverpool with just 3.5 minutes to go.
In the very nick of time, and that meant extra time.
We've got now 10 minutes to go here. And I see that Keith Birkinshaw's out on his feet. It's Bob Paisley, in fact, out on his feet there. And that's unusual. And he's not happy with one or two of his players. I think he feels that this is there for the taking for Liverpool. And they've got 10 minutes to do it. And Tottenham, I think at the moment, you couldn't say more than are hanging on here, despite that excellent effort from Crooks just a few minutes ago. And I agree with Frank McClintock. I think they would be happy to take this to a replay. Ball played for Dalglish on the edge of the Tottenham area. Shot comes in. Again, Clements right off his line as he was being challenged by Ian Rush. Good timing by the Tottenham goalkeeper. The ball's with Hoddle, and Hoddle again showing a little bit of his class, finds Perriman, and that was a definite sign of tiredness as the ball just bobbles into touch. The throw back to Kennedy, long ball from Kennedy. Dalglish is prepared to challenge, but the ball breaks. Now Dalglish has a bad ball from him, and it's inside the area, and Dalglish is onside here. Dalglish is still there, and Dalglish plays it wide to Whelan, and Whelan has scored. And it could be that Ronnie Whelan, who's now running all over Wembley, has won the cup for Liverpool. We've got 1.5 minutes to go, and the cup is edging and edging and edging towards the Mersey now. Neil, always giving options to the players. Neil tucks the ball infield. Souness, one of a dozen players now, stockings around his ankles, gets the return ball from Neil, still going forward. And in the end, Miller did well to turn the ball back before Souness could get in for the final touch. Villa, a couple of yards in from the near touchline, and Villa going forward. He's got strength. Oh, he did well, Villa there. Got on the second challenge too. Galvin's got Villa outside him, and Villa is there, just outside the Liverpool penalty area. Has to check and come back again. And then the final pass is all wrong. And Lee joyfully plays the ball wide. And Tottenham are in trouble here because Rush and Johnson are together, and Johnson's there, and Johnson must score here, and he doesn't. A great save by Clements. Johnson is still there. Johnson lays it wide, and the cup's gone to Liverpool now because Tottenham were dead and buried. Johnson kept his head very sensibly. He waited for the moment, and Clements saved the first time, but Ian Rush was there, and there's no question now. 15 seconds to go. Tottenham were caught absolutely dead and buried. Johnson kept his head, Clements did his best, and the Welshman came in to score his 8th League Cup goal. It may not have mattered, but that's the seal, and the cup goes back to Anfield, 3-1.
Yes, and the Liverpool players just coming off the pitch, and would you believe the man who's got hold of the League Cup trophy is Ronnie Whelan. Ronnie, the sort of stuff that dreams are made of.
Yeah, great. Been brilliant. 2 goals, nothing like it.
I tell you what, you left it a little bit late, didn't you?
We did, yeah, but better late than never.
Indeed, and 2 goals on your Wembley debut. I mean, have you ever had a day like this before?
No, never. I was dreaming of it the last 2 nights, and it's just come through.
Did you manage to get any sleep last night?
No, or Thursday. No sleep at all. I'm knackered.
Well, I'll tell you what, you played ever so well, but as I say, you left it just a little bit late. How did the legs feel in extra time?
Tired. Very, very tired. Cramp was coming, and, you know, it was a bit hard in the end, but in the end it worked okay.
Well, congratulations, as I say, the Wembley debut, 2 goals, a day that you and the rest of the family, you'll never forget.
Yeah, Mum and Dad are here, made up for them, really.
Ronnie, you've only just come into this Liverpool side, but you make playing in it look pretty easy.
It's not easy, really. It's hard out there, you know, once you're out there, it's hard. But we battle away, just all the team help, you know, it's great the way they all battle away. It helps me.
And the sides met again in mid-May, with Liverpool in line for another league championship, and Spurs looking to end a very unenviable record.
5 minutes into the second half, and still Tottenham leading by a goal to nil. A goal, and what a marvellous one it was too, from Glenn Hoddle after 27 minutes. And that right against the run of play. Liverpool having all the pressure in the first half. 4 or 5 clear-cut chances, but still it's Tottenham in front. And they're attacking now, but they've given the ball away. Hansen picks it up for Liverpool, deep inside his own half. Slides it then wide to Thompson. And Thompson now across the halfway line, chips it forward. Dalglish rising for the ball, headed out by Roberts. It falls for Whelan. Whelan looks for Rush on the far side, cleared out by Miller. Good skills then by Hoddle. Brings the ball out of defence, but he's robbed. Kennedy tigerishly into the tackle. Then Lawson knocks it forward. Rush is onside, just outside the area. Turns it back for Whelan. Just wide. As the Kop sways. Oh, that was so close. Snapshot then from Ronnie Whelan. He's already scored 13 goals this season. My word, he was close to his 14th. The ball not all that far away from Ray Clements' left-hand post. Clements then will take this goal kick for Tottenham, who haven't won at Anfield, remember, for 70 years. They're not doing too badly today. And a goal up. Still there's tremendous noise around the ground as Liverpool aim for their 13th league championship and their 5th title in 8 years. Here's Alan Kennedy, knocks it forward. Souness, the Liverpool captain, back again to Kennedy. Kennedy upfield looking for Lee on the edge of the area. Lee wins the ball. It's just outside the 18-yard box. Tries to turn the ball over. It comes off Kratoutin. And Liverpool have won a corner. Away to our right as we watch the match high above the halfway line on the television gantry here at Anfield. Lee will take the kick for them. It's full house now, baying their support as Lee takes the kick, right-footed across the box. And it comes in and it's there! Ranson is engulfed by his colleagues. The ball floated over, and Ranson, Liverpool's record signing from Brighton, has equalised, and what an important goal that could be for Liverpool. Free kick then to Liverpool. They've won 19 of their last 23 matches. Their last defeat at home to Brighton back in early March. They really have had a phenomenal run, and if they win the championship now, I don't think anyone would deny them it. Thompson forward to Neil. Then to Souness, who's 10 yards outside the penalty area. Then to Lee on the near side. One of Liverpool's many successes this season, Sammy Lee. Dalglish chips the ball towards the area. Up goes Rush. It's headed out by Miller. Hooked back then by Lawrence on the scorer. Dalglish is onside. 2-1. Dalglish has done it. And will that be, I wonder, the goal that clinches the championship for Liverpool? Kenny Dalglish, his 22nd goal of the season. Cool as you like, as the ball fell to his feet inside the 18-yard box. He looked up, drew Ray Clements, and took the ball past him. Oh, what scenes here now at Anfield. We've had 10 minutes of the second half, and Kenny Dalglish, Super Kenny, has put Liverpool in front. It's Liverpool 2, Tottenham 1.
And just listen to the Anfield sound here. Remarkable performance by Liverpool, unbeaten in the league since that 1-0 defeat at Brighton on March the 6th. 12 wins and 2 draws, 11 straight league wins, a club record. And here's Whelan going forward, and Whelan shoots! 3-1! And Ronnie Whelan waves to the top. And the league championship now, quite definitely, is coming back to Anfield for the 13th time. And the Irishman, who scored twice in the League Cup final, has set the seal on it in the grand manner. It's his 14th goal. It's the 3rd for Liverpool. 3-1. Tottenham have fought but have gone. And Liverpool are the new league champions.
And the Kop, of course, crowed with delight. The Kop, that mountain of faith and hope, noted for its humour and earthiness, which meant it was a surprise, even to Radio Sport's Eddie Hemmings, himself a Scouser, to discover a clerical gentleman amid that fanatical horde.
I've been coming to the Kop since Liverpool, since 47, Eddie. Came as a lad with my brother, come with my brother today. And when I became a vicar, I made a deliberate choice that if I was going to attempt to be alongside ordinary people of Everton where I was working then, it was essential to understand the thinking. I mean, it's not a question of me being put out. I'm here because I enjoy football, been a football supporter all my life, and it seems the most appropriate place to stand. I would definitely choose to be on the cup rather than the stand now.
Would you, even though it's a lot more comfortable? Oh no, some atmosphere and just being with the people, understanding the humour, trying to read the mood of the game. My opinion is, although obviously I'm pretty prejudiced, the Cops are a very fair-minded gang of people. They understand football. They can clap and appreciate good opposition football. They don't like dirty stuff. The only bad comment I'd make about the Cop is it's very racist. There's an old Liverpool word, isn't there? Scallywags. Yeah. And they say all the scallywags get on the Cop. I mean, does that not bother you?
No, it doesn't. No, not at all. I mean, I don't mind the language. No. That's Liverpool, isn't it? And you've got to take people seriously as they are. In my terms, if Jesus went in the marketplace where the people were, I'm quite happy to come here. There's no contradiction for me being a priest and being here on a Saturday and standing around a holy table tomorrow. There's no contradiction in my mind whatsoever.
Well, I know that you have a favourite spot, and obviously the people around there know that you're a vicar. Do they watch the language because they know you're a cleric?
Now and again they do, yes. About 2 years ago, very vividly, there was a gang of lads called the Molyneux who live up by St George's Church. I know them quite well. And it was a game, and he was really going full belt. And he saw me, he said, "Oh, Vic, I'm sorry." And for about 5 minutes, he was able to contain himself, and that was it. He couldn't resist any longer, back into the full repertoire. But that's what you come on a cup for. Now, I need to say, I've never been involved in a fight. I've never had a wet leg. I've never had anything ever stolen. And it's a good place to stand now.
Of course, people have the unhappy habit of getting married on a Saturday. Have you ever had a problem where there's been a 3 o'clock kick-off at a wedding, clashing with a big game?
Well, I've had several. I've got in here at half-time with my season ticket, but I also came here for 3 o'clock, and I had a 4 o'clock wedding, and I almost didn't get out. I was running up the back here like hell, trying to get out, and it was a panic. But I did get out, but I was only just made it.
The Reverend Neville Black. The League Cup was now known as the Milk Cup. But what's in a name? Liverpool won the tournament for the 3rd season running, though once again they were a goal down with time running out. George Hamilton, the commentator.
Liverpool in possession on halfway. Square ball to Graham Souness, moving forward into the Manchester United half, all the way over to the far side to Phil Neal. Right-hand angle of the penalty area, tackled by Murin. Murin wins it. Wilkins gets in there to help it on its way. Souness wins it back. It's now Craig Johnston for Liverpool. Still over on the far side. Johnston, little bubbling ball into Sammy Lee. Lee plays it square to Kennedy. 35 yards from goal. Kennedy moves forward, looks up, shoots, and it's there! And Alan Kennedy, the man who scores so many vital goals for Liverpool, has done it again. Kennedy, who won the European Cup for them in Paris, has brought them back into this Milk Cup with a shot from 30 yards that deceived Gary Bailey. Left-footed across the face of Bailey, over his outstretched arms and into the net. It's 1-1 and we've got a quarter of an hour to go.
The ball just inside the centre circle. It breaks to the near side. To Neal to Lee, crosses the halfway line, tightened on the near touchline, the Liverpool right. Midway now inside the United half. Lee squares it inside, picked up by Dalglish. About 25 yards out, tries a shot, hammers against Macari, comes back to Kennedy, Kennedy to Whelan. Whelan now with Stapleton in front of him, gets a second bite, gets a shot in, and Whelan's done it! Ronnie Whelan, the Irishman whose 2 goals beat Tottenham in last year's final, may again have won the Milk Cup final for Liverpool. Twice United got that ball away, twice it came back, and in the end it was Whelan from 19 yards out who picked his spot, used his right foot and hit it precisely just inside the left United post. Ronnie Whelan, he won it last year and I think he may have won it again.
Bob Paisley, the cloth cap has gone, so too has the crumpled raincoat. It's the smart suit now as he waves his captain Graham Souness towards the steps that will lead up to the Milk Cup presentation. Indeed, Bob Paisley himself is going to receive the Milk Cup for Liverpool. What a fitting tribute for Bob Paisley in this, his final season. So Bob Paisley leads his men up the steps to the Royal Box. I can see his chairman John Smith alongside Mr. Hodges. That silver trophy has got the red ribbons dangling from it now, and in a few moments' time it will be Bob Paisley's cup.
That victory over United by 2-1 capped a remarkable decade for Paisley. He led the Anfield club to 6 league championships, 3 league cups, 3 European cups, 1 UEFA Cup and 5 charity shields, which made him the most successful manager in the history of English football. All the more remarkable when you listen to him telling, in that gentle, modest way of his, just how carefully he weighed up all the pros and cons before taking the job on.
I didn't know Bill was packing in, and the club were taken completely by surprise, and it was when I came off my holidays, Bill was resigning. There was a press conference, and then understandably the club had a sort of fortnight, and it wasn't much to think of, and I suppose at the end of the day I was put in. They might not like me saying this is a makeshift, but certainly I was prepared just to do that because I'd wanted to work. I took the job because I had to have a job. I couldn't afford to not have a job. So, and this was the easiest one that was knocking around there at the time. I had a talk with the staff and we browsed about it, and we thought at the end of the day we'd give it a go. And in fairness, and that's why I could depend entirely on, that they were 100% behind me. If one or two of them had jibbed, then the job wouldn't have been worth taking, because I'd had enough problems without sort of any backstabbing and that, but that never came, and I'd sorted that out before I actually took the job, and everybody was in unison that we would have a go at it. When you win trophies, it's not yourself that you win them for. And I like to think it's for Liverpool. And when I say Liverpool, I mean the city of Liverpool. And I think of I've got a very soft spot for the women of Liverpool supporters and that, because in my time I think they used to get the rough end of the stick when there was a result went against them. Lots of them, and I've often heard them saying, I got battered last night. But I really did feel for them, and I think Liverpool as a city gets the pleasure out of it. And my thoughts go out that way too.
But this time, in May 1983, the changeover was a smooth one. Not that Joe Fagan, the new boss, yet another Anfield old boy, had any illusions.
Nobody can follow Bob. No one anywhere can follow Bob. And I'm almost saying that it's a clean slate now. Otherwise, the whole thing would drive you mad, thinking about it, see? And this is one thing I've made clear in my own mind, that I will not think about what's happened before, because don't forget, even with Bob, there's been other people who took part over the years, which is one of the things I'm talking about when I talk about the Ronnie Morans and the Roy Ems and John Bennisons of this world, that they too have been a part of the scene over the last 9 years.